There he is, drinking his gamer juice.
You said you wouldn't sell everyone. The Unusual Suspects, one of your 5 a day. Hi, my name is Dan, and welcome to the Unusual Suspects podcast, episode 41. We're back! Yay!
Woo! Yay.
We missed you.
What
kind of fucking energy is that?
What kind of energy is what?
Yeah.
I'm consistent. I don't want to peak too early, you know? Penny's still yawning, so I don't want to...
Yeah. Wait till we get to film out of the hat. Christ.
Penny's not crying.
Yeah, I'm yawning so much.
Should we
Is that a thing?
if we yawn...
We gotta stop saying the word.
Penny's very sensitive to catching yawns. Yawn, 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 yawn. Even when you say yawn,
Prick.
she might yawn. Oh my god, that's so weird. Still doing it. Alright, I'll stop being a prick. Anyway, welcome to episode 41.
Now everyone's gonna use that against me.
My one weakness
It's your kryptonite.
is saying the word
It's my kryptonite.
born. Which sounds like... No, it doesn't sound like yawn at all.
No.
Sorry. Anyway, welcome to April. How is April, everyone?
Woo!
It's nearly Easter.
Is it?
I think it's in 3 weeks from now. So, yeah.
Well, this is the 14th of April.
So it's Easter.
I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on. Are we getting eggs or not?
What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, it depends who's buying you eggs. I don't get eggs for Easter. I get money.
I've got 3 cracked eggs in the fridge if you want them.
Who gives you money for Easter? You're mid-30s.
My mum, because she buys Jenny an egg, and I get some.
Do you get the equivalent of an egg? Do you get like £2.50?
Yeah. She
What is the fucking point? What is the point?
Because one of the Bennetts has FOMO. It's not me, but so she likes to keep things equal.
As it should be in the world. Anyway.
I say that. I get eggs from my parents as well, so I don't live with them.
Did you guys ever get Easter cards?
No.
I
No,
did
only
once.
when you were school children.
Yeah.
Like, you used to make them, but not for other children, for your parents. Who's giving you Easter cards? The bunny?
Some guy in the alleyway, I don't know.
I'm sure when I was in Germany once over Easter, we went out to an Italian restaurant and they gave us these like painted eggs afterwards. And I was like, sweet, these are like real fancy chocolate eggs. And I bit into it and it was just a boiled egg. And I was furious.
I mean, boiled eggs are good.
Yeah, but not when you're fucking 10 years old and you put your teeth through it.
We have not changed at all. Fucking still talking about fucking food on an intro yet again. It's good to be back, America. It's good to be back. Anyway, yeah, we're all caught up now. Wink.
Yep.
So done all our stuff. All our admin's done. We're all up
Everyone
to
did
date.
their stuff on time. And
Wink.
it was smooth sailing.
Smooth
and nobody
sailing.
got cross.
No.
It's on record now. It has to be fact.
It has to fucking editor. It
Have to
has
make
to
it
fucking.
so.
You have to finish this episode now. Anyway, let's talk about film, shall we? And later on in the podcast, we're going to talk about a film out of the hat, which is XXX, not the porno, the Vin Diesel porno. Pen,
Hello.
She's still yawning.
A little bit, yeah.
what have you been watching these past few days?
Well, I've kind of failed you.
Yes, you have.
I'm not doing my normal, I watched a film that will annoy you and we're going to talk about it. But I decided to watch a film that I've wanted to watch for ages, which is good because I enjoyed it and had a lovely time. But it also means it was good.
That's fine.
So I'm not really going to talk about it too much.
Yeah, we appreciate when a good
Yep.
film comes up. Not, there's at some point talking about terrible films for the majority of this podcast can do stuff to your head and make you feel like everything is terrible, everything is terrible. But yeah, good films are good.
Yeah, I decided to watch 2 films that have been on my list for a long time. One of them was great, one of them was not. So we'll start with the good one. I watched 2020's Spree, which is available on Netflix. And I was writing down the synopsis and it made me laugh. The one I wrote down on Netflix, I decided was a bit too spoilery. So I went to IMDb. Thirsty for a following, Kurt Kunkel, is a rideshare driver who has figured out a deadly plan to go viral. So it's a horror movie.
Is this the film you text me and said, Dan, you'll probably like this?
Yeah, it's super YouTubey. You'll love it.
Super YouTube.
It's super YouTubey. That's just down my alleyway.
It stars Steve from Stranger Things, whose name I didn't look up.
Joe Carey.
Yep, if that's it.
Good research.
It is.
And he's the main character, Kurt. And yeah, as it says, it's a...
Stephen Kurt.
Not Stephen Kurt.
Oh, is that his character though?
His name
is Kurt Kunkel.
But his real name's not Steve. Steve is the Stranger Things name.
No.
Right, okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit like a lot of the films we've talked about. It's, like I said, it's super YouTubey, so it's kind of its time. Kurt wants to be a YouTuber. He wants to be viral. He wants to be famous. And he starts Kurt's World, and he streams all the shit that he does. He streams it all the time. And I think there's a note that says he does that for about 10 years.
10 years?
Doesn't get anywhere.
Life as a streamer is hard.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing different level, Dan? Are we near 10 years?
3, I think?
No.
Only 7 more to go before you're relevant.
Thanks, mate.
Well,
That was so unnecessary. Oh, I'm so sorry.
and yeah, because Kurt can't get relevant, he figures out a deadly plan to become relevant. He's like, right, I need to fucking push the envelope out. I need to do something drastic.
Mukbang.
So yeah, it is Duckbang.
Mukbang.
What does that mean?
Oh my god, you two fucking so not down
We're
with the
not
kids, are you?
YouTubers.
Yeah, it's
No.
the
Mukbang.
they're like the very trendy videos where people eat on stream. You guys would fucking love that. You just eat and people watch you. It's great. It's very popular
You
nowadays.
mean people would want to watch me eat burgers on the internet?
That is an actual thing that people
Is it
watch.
like a kink thing or?
Yeah.
Join us for the next episode After Dark when I show these two a mukbang video.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So we're not going to go into what he does. But yeah, it is a horror movie. It is a bit bloody. The thing that made me think of you, Dan, is there's a lot of streaming from his phone. While he's live streaming, you get comments and hearts and things. And he sets up his Spree. Instead of his Uber, it's called Spree.
Right.
So he sets up his car with all these cameras in it. So you've got all these different camera angles as well. And he picks up people in his Spree. And they're like, what's with all the cameras? And he's like, oh, it's just for my protection. Like...
Oh.
You know, I just have to be safe. And actually it's not. He's live streaming. So he's got like a couple in the back and he's got the dash cam and I think he's got one in the boot.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice. There's lots of different angles.
There's an actual YouTube account where a guy does this. He has a Uber or something and he literally has a camera and he chats to people like strangers, blurs out their faces obviously, but he chats them in the car.
Say.
There's an actual account.
Because part of me was like, I don't want you filming me while I'm in a taxi. Like,
I guess, yeah.
yeah. But he's got another friend who is kind of a famous YouTuber. So there's some nice bits there where he turns up at his house and he's live streaming it. Like all the footage is him live streaming. But then, so he's live streaming his friend and he's like, stop like jumping on my stream. So he starts live streaming it too. So then the screen is split in half. So you've got the different angles that way because they're live streaming each other.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and then there's some bits later on. But there's a DJ. Oh, David Arquette's in it, by the way, which
Is he?
is a plus point for me. He plays Kurt's dad. He's not in it a lot, but
Do you
he's...
say it's a plus point for you?
Scream.
Yeah, I love David Arquette.
Scream.
Of course,
David
yeah. Scream.
Yeah. Don't be surprised. There's a DJ and he drives her to a taco truck and she's like, can you get out and get me some food? So then you've got the angle, she's live streaming or she's taking selfies in the car and then you get the angles from the car and he's streaming at the taco truck. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
There's a lot of angles.
There's a lot of, this film is made of angles. But
Quote that.
yeah.
Made of angles.
Made of angles.
Made of angles. So yeah, Spree, I don't really want to go into it too much, but it's...
So wait, yeah, but is it,
a-
to convince people to watch it, is it like, what's the synopsis? Is it like a horror or is it like a drama?
It's a horror movie.
It's
So
a
he
horror.
basically is like, right, I have not been relevant. So he comes up with a deadly plan to help him go viral. So he live streams him doing something horror-y.
Okay. I might
Which
check it out.
it is kind of weird because he is streaming for quite a while and you're like, how has nobody stopped you yet? Because you are doing illegal things.
Streamers' rights, man. Get away with anything.
Like we know it's a horror movie. He's murdering people.
No.
And he's live streaming it. Yeah, fuck you. But I'm like, how are you getting away with this for
So
so
mean
long
to
if
me
you're
today.
live streaming this? I'm really cranky. I'm sorry.
Really cranky and tired and yawny.
I'm really cranky.
Someone needs a nap.
I'm not even tired, I'm just cranky.
I think I might watch it. It sounds intriguing. But yeah.
You know, it's a horror movie. Like I said, he murders people. It's obvious, but it was a interesting take on it.
Modern day take on live streams.
And I like Steve. What's his real name? But I like him a lot. Joe Keery. I like him a lot. So yeah, that's on Netflix right now. Go and watch it.
I've been meaning to watch it for a while, but been too busy, so I haven't ground to it.
Oh, fucking here we go.
But I still hit all my deadlines. That's the important thing.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, snap. Do you want some cream for that burn, Dan?
I didn't hear a word you said there.
Do you want some cream for that burn, Dan?
What burn?
He said he hits all his deadlines.
Doesn't matter. Let's keep going.
Oh, Christ.
Well, it's a bit late now. I didn't get the joke at the start.
You've got to remember, guys, what we're doing here is important. You're creating a brand. Actually, hold up. Real step one, get your rig together. If you're not documenting yourself, it's simple. You just don't exist. And for my premium subscribers, if you hop onto Kurt's World, you can choose your own angles. Plus, I'll be screen sharing my phone all night for unlimited behind-the-scenes access. So don't sleep on that.
So another film on my list was My Friend Dahmer, which was out in 2017 and is on all 4. I've been trying to work out how to say this. Jeffrey Dahmer is my favourite
Crush?
serial killer.
Oh.
Favourite not being the correct word. But I had trouble working out how to phrase this.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying you have a favourite serial killer. I mean, you don't condone what they did, but you're allowed to have favourites.
Are you?
I'm not sure Dan agrees with you.
The views of Andy do not represent the views of myself, at least.
We're not condoning going out murdering people.
No.
I'm just saying sometimes...
Is it the art of murder are you talking about?
No.
The fascination of the case.
Why is it your favourite then? Or the fascination with the person or the...
Again...
people with the crimes. I think that's what constitutes him being a favourite murderer. That said, he's not my favourite murderer.
Yeah, and also, without going too much into it because I'm too true crimey, but I do feel a bit sorry for him. Obviously, he shouldn't have done any of the things that he did, but he had a lot of remorse rather than compared to like a lot of other serial killers, and didn't really. There's a whole thing. Process killers. There's different types of serial killers, and I feel bad for him. And he is my favourite.
Is there, because I'm the documentary guy? Isn't there a documentary about him? I think as well.
But Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah.
There's loads.
I feel like there's loads. He's super famous.
Is there loads? Oh, okay.
He's like one of the biggest murderers. Him, Bundy.
He's a heavy hitter. He used to eat people. He's a cannibal. There's all those memes about him and Five Guys, the burgers, and also the men, because he used to eat people.
Yeah. For what it's worth, Penn, I think again is my favourite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is it? His interesting carpentry and furniture making?
I just like that he had lampshades of people's faces.
Yeah, just like that fact.
Dan's not into true crime like Andy and I are, so I feel like this is a weird conversation.
My favourite serial killer is the cat bin lady who put the cat in the bin. Remember that?
She's not a serial killer. She's a terrible person.
But she was treated like she was one when it came out.
She should be. If I had to pick her or Dahmer to go in the chair, she's going in the chair, mate.
Wow.
Dahmer's not.
He's not.
I'm kind of with that.
Yep. I mean, he's already dead, but he didn't really want to kill people. She was a cunt.
She's a C word. Whoa, that's a first.
But no, that's how I feel about her. She's a terrible person. Anyway,
okay. So this film, yes.
So this film, I think it was 2012. There was a guy that went to school with Jeffrey Dahmer who became a cartoonist, and he drew a graphic novel called My Friend Dahmer, and it was about his time in high school being friends with him, and they turned that into a movie. I haven't read the graphic novel. My friend of the podcast, Chris, has just finished reading it and says it's pretty good. The movie was dull. It stars, again, no research today. It stars the guy that plays Harvey Kinkle in the new Sabrina the Teenage Witch. For those that know, I think he's a Disney boy. Can't remember his name. I think he's in a band too, Andy. But we get emails about him every now and then, I think.
Do he?
But that doesn't help you.
I don't know what his name is. You haven't told me.
No, I don't know. Without
fuck's sake,
I can't be. Nobody cares. And it's also got the guy from Hereditary in it as the friend of Dahmer.
Penny's other favourite horror film.
Fuck that film. Fuck that film.
We're having a courtroom session about that film next time.
The kid that played Jeffrey Dahmer was pretty good. He was pretty weird and pretty quiet. And I don't know whether it's me and because it was like pre-murders. It was about him in high school and things like that. I don't want to say that's why I wasn't interested. But it was just like, okay, he was a weird kid and he did make some friends. And there was like a bit into his family life. Like his mum had some mental health issues. I think she was on, they didn't really say what they were, but I think she was taking some meds and then she wasn't taking some meds and that was quite difficult. And then his parents got divorced. He then got left on his own quite a lot at home. Nobody was really interested. His dad was a chemist and Jeffrey had a interest in bones. So he used to collect roadkill and put them in jars and melt the flesh off them with an acid that his dad gave him to get at the bones and stuff. And he made a few friends at school and he was a bit weird and, you know, they did some things and he just got weirder and weirder and started drinking quite a bit. And then they all graduated from high school and the friends were all kind of leaving. And after that, picked up a hitchhiker and that was his first victim. So it was kind of interesting, but it, you know, you got a little bit of why he was like he was, but not really an hour and a half's worth.
Is the film from the perspective as him? How's it like? Is it just like the
not
story
really.
told?
Because the guy that wrote it was his friend, so it's based on that.
Right.
So it's not like a
biopic-ish.
No, I suppose it is it's this guy's biopic of him remembering his time with Dahmer.
Yeah.
So, but it was fine, but I don't know whether because I'm a true crime nerd, I want more details. And obviously this guy didn't have any idea. I did read a little article after I watched it where obviously he had no idea. And he's like, now I know what he did. When you look back on some of the weird things that he did, you're like, oh, okay, this kind of makes sense and whatever. But I guess because he didn't know, the story's not that interesting.
Was there like an epilogue where you hear from the dude who was like, oh yeah, on reflection,
Nope.
Bit of a prick?
No, literally, the most interesting bit was like the last 10 minutes. I'm going to spoil it because I'm not recommending you watch it, even if you're a massive true crime nerd. So Jeffrey's walking home and his friend Durf, his name was like John Durfenbacher or something, and everyone called him Durf. So he's driving somewhere and he sees him and he's like, oh, like, are you walking home? Like, do you want a ride? So he gives him a ride home and nobody's there. Like his dad doesn't live there anymore because he's divorced and his mum and his younger brother have gone to like grandma's house or whatever. And he's like, oh, come in, just like come in for a beer. And he's like, well, I've got to go home like because I'm leaving for college tomorrow and I need to have dinner with my family. And he's like, oh, please just have a beer. So he goes in with him and the house is all dark obviously because nobody's there and Dahmer's really weird. And eventually he's just like, oh, actually I have to go. And then you get one bit where he's walking to his car and it looks like Dahmer is going to smack him with a baseball bat and kill him. But obviously he doesn't. And he gets in his car and he goes. And then the next scene is Dahmer driving down the road and he picks up a hitchhiker. Like they have a little chat in the car and they drive off. And then it cuts to black and it just says the guy's name and just says like that was the last time anybody saw him. So he was assumed to be Dahmer's first victim. Like so he picked up a hitchhiker and killed him and that was what started it. And then that's it.
So is it implied that he was going to kill Durf?
Yeah, I don't know how true that is. Because if Durf obviously didn't know. So I wonder if that's some artistic license.
I imagine it probably is. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's the end of a graphic novel and this film, there's going to need to be some sort of payoff. And I imagine that is it.
Because I literally was like, oh, he's going to kill him. And then I was like, no, he can't because he's the guy that wrote the story. So, oh, no, he's not. Never mind. So it was interesting because, yeah, all like other documentaries and things obviously tell you about the murders. And this was not one of them. But I don't think he did some weird things, but not weird enough for anyone to go, oh, yeah, he's going to eat people. And it wasn't, especially as it wasn't long, a long gap. So they're at high school till they're 18 and then they graduate. And then what do they get? They must get a summer before they go to college, like us. So the end of that summer, he murders someone. So it's like, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever, how long it is. So it's not like everyone was like, oh my God, and he was so fucking weird. And he was like, he kept biting girls or something. And then he murdered people. Like nobody really had any idea. So the story was just not very exciting. I would recommend watching a documentary if you're that interested instead, on all the fun, gory bits. Yeah, I said fun. Suck it.
Basically confirms that Penn just wants to see some gore in her biopic documentary / true story.
It just doesn't seem that his childhood was very exciting. I personally don't think that stuff really, his home life and stuff, I don't think that that's the reason why he did it. I think he was just weird. I think he was weird and he was always going to do it and he was always going to have these compulsions. So in that respect, I don't think any of that other stuff was really relevant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're sort of verging on going off track, but I think there are cases where the childhood does affect it. I mean, Geen is an example, Robert Picton's another, but I kind of agree. And the same with Bundy. I wouldn't necessarily say their childhoods caused it. It might have had a minor cause, but I don't think there was enough trauma to cause that sort of stuff.
Nope. And he was left on his own that summer or whatever.
Yeah, he was bored.
So watch Spree. Don't bother with my friend Dahmer. There you go.
Okay. Well, thanks, Penn, for reporter in the field, Penny. Thank you.
I bet it was a coven of witches.
Coven.
Me a coven? It's coven? Yeah. Whatever. There's been a reported rise in satanic witch cults. Okay.
According to what? According to who?
Where?
Everyone.
All right. You know what you should
doesn't
do?
even make
You should get one of the witch cults to wish in their cauldron to get you a prom date. That's all. That's what you should focus.
Mike's looking for a prom date.
Oh yeah, and Dirk's planning to put you up for prom king.
No, I'm not.
Doesn't matter. If there's a girl within 50 miles of this place, we'd go to prom with Dahmer.
Andy, what you watch?
So I have been very busy, as we've already discussed. I
Fuck me.
had a couple of hours free and thought, instead of watching something that I need to concentrate on, I'm going to chuck on something that is bollocks but fun. So I watched Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, for fuck. Of course you did.
And it is...
Your favourite film of all time, I heard.
Do you know what? It's genuinely up there.
Oh my god.
I also watched Scary Movie.
I can't remember the last time I watched it.
So I went through a couple of spoofs.
I watched it a month ago.
I mean, it kind of holds up.
It does hold up, but it's got that same thing that Eurotrip has, where it's sometimes the jokes land. I do admit, Chris Evans is more funnier than I thought he was in that. He's actually probably the funniest person in that, or one of the funniest people in there.
I think the only thing I remember from that movie is him covered in whipped cream. I don't remember anything else.
I bet you fucking do. Yeah, I bet you fucking do.
He's not my favourite Chris. You know that.
He's your favourite type of Chris with cream on it, though.
No, he's not. That would be Chris Hemsworth.
I imagine that's a Krispy Kreme.
Oh, okay, sorry, my apologies.
Oh, nice.
Sorry.
I didn't hear that again. What?
A Krispy Kreme.
Oh, a Krispy Kreme.
Don't
fucking
repeat
fantastic.
it. He can listen to it when it comes out like everybody else.
Nah, I can't hear over your two annoying voices. Sorry, go on.
So, Not Another Teen Movie. It's the general plot is pretty much Pretty in Pink and She's All That, with a smattering of other sort of mid-noughties, early 90s teen films.
It's quite spoofy, isn't it?
I'd love it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there's elements of American Pie, a lot of American Pie, but American Beauty, Cruel Intentions, Never Been Kissed, Ferris Bueller, 10 Things I Hate About You.
It's more of a scary movie type film, isn't it? Rather than just a teen drama. It's because it's got the parody element of a lot of things and stuff.
So I would classify Not Another Teen Movie and Scary Movie as top tier parody films, up there with Airplane and Young Frankenstein. Yeah. And I'm going to throw these out as a couple of other ones. Yawn of the Dead. Sorry, Shaun of the Dead.
You're pretty good.
I was hoping I'd get a yawn from Penn, but it didn't work.
You will. I hate you.
Doesn't he yawn in
there
Shaun
it goes.
of the Dead?
There's the yawn. There's the yawn.
There it is. Oi. Live.
Perfect. But I think that the main difference...
People are going to come up to me in the street and just shout yawn at me now.
It's going to be great. But I think there's a difference between that. In the mid-2000s, there was a spate of other parody films like Disaster Movie, Epic Movie, Movie 43.
They were not good.
No, they were terrible. And I think the difference is that aside from these ones being one of the first ones to do it in that era, Scary Movie and Not Another Teen Movie specifically, they followed a general plot that wasn't overly complicated. They spoofed an entire film and then added elements to it. So obviously Scary Movie is just Scream
They even use dialogue from Scream in it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's Scream with extra bits.
And different cues and stuff, so it's exactly the same. And I think that's why they're still so good, because Scary Movie is still pretty fucking funny. I mean, there is some bits that don't age well, as with everything, but they're both still pretty decent.
I haven't seen Scary Movie in years, but I can vouch for another teen movie. It's not as I thought when I was going to watch it like a month ago. It wasn't going to hold up. Like you said, it sort of does in a kind of Eurotrippy way. Like some things hit in Eurotrip and some things don't. Don't cancel us, Reddit. But yeah, no, I agree. I think it's surprisingly something you could watch today and find quite funny, even if you just want to watch it, see Chris Evans in Cream and Banana Split.
So here's the thing, right? I remember seeing this like years before I saw anything else with Chris Evans in it. And when he played Captain America and was in 2009 film Push, I was like, wow, he's actually playing a straight role. I just assumed he did comedy because he nailed it.
He's quite funny.
Yeah.
Like all the affectations and like the glances and the delivery, the timing was all pretty spot on. So I was genuinely surprised that he could... Oh, I don't want to say that he could act, but you know what I mean.
He can
but
actually
obviously,
act.
like, it's been a decade since I've seen Not Another Teen Movie. So now going from like Knives Out, Snowpiercer, and obviously Captain America, and then going back to watching him do comedy, it's quite jarring, but he's great.
Interesting.
I don't think I've seen him in anything else other than Captain America and Not Another Teen Movie.
Have you... Oh, you haven't seen Scott Pilgrim, have you?
Oh, yeah, I've seen Scott Pilgrim. I lie. I'll take it back.
He's in that.
He's only in that a little bit, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in it for 5 minutes.
Yeah. That'd be it, though. Like, I don't think I've seen another real film with him in.
No.
Not that Scott Pilgrim's not real. I meant a bigger part.
Well, I was about to kick off, but you saved yourself.
I know. Yep.
But, so what I want to see, and I know that Penn has covered some of these recently, is a good modern parody film that works.
Yeah, they've been and gone there.
But I think you could bring it back if you do it properly. If you take core idea, dialogue, and add small points to it, instead of trying to fucking shoehorn everything in or be too meta. Yeah. I think you could do it.
What is the plot of Not Another Teen Movie? Because I haven't seen it in forever. Like, what
teenage
story is it?
Plot.
It is a jock trying to get the
ugliest girl in the school.
It's the She's All That plot.
It's She's All That, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I needed to know. Yeah.
They're essentially like, oh, well, we can pick this girl for you for this bet. Here's some Siamese twins. Here's an albino. Oh, no. We'll pick the one with glasses and a ponytail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like you said, with Scary Movie being Scream and that being She's All That. That makes sense. I feel like stuff now, like you said, it's an amalgamation of a bunch of films. So the plot is weird.
They have specific key points that they want to get to, and they try and force it there instead of just following a whole narrative. So I think they could do it. I think it's doable.
I reckon we could do it with my...
Make it happen, Hollywood.
We could, with my Halloween movie. I reckon.
Yeah, but that's kind of the same. Like, that's still...
It was a lot of stuff.
You just trying to get specific things in there, and that's exactly what the shittier parodies do.
If you could make that like a better running plot, then...
If you did it...
But, you know, copyrighted, no one else steal it.
If you did it like...
We could do like a monster movie or a Freddy Jason movie and parody that.
Oh, I was going to say, is it Cabin in the Woods, the Joss Whedon one?
Oh, Cabin in the Woods is so good.
So you could do it as Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
That's probably the easiest way to do it.
That is one of my favourite movies, I think. Have you seen that?
I think that's also sort of a parody because it takes a lot of those elements as well.
That movie is incredible. And the fact they actually wrote that a long time before it came out.
Yeah.
So it still worked. I don't know how many years. But I was surprised that they were like that it still worked the 10 years later or whatever when it actually came out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if you wrote a film now and then put it out in 10 years without changing anything that it would necessarily work.
Yeah, I tend to agree. But yeah, that's all I want to say really. I've got no idea where this conversation is going. I've not really planned. I've not thought this segment through. I'm just saying, Not Another Teen Movie. Fucking great.
Thank you very much, Andy.
You're welcome.
Reporter in the field too, Andy.
But no, I'm looking for somebody who's really messed up. I'm talking about a real shit bomb. Oh, well, bombs away.
Oh, no, anyone but her, not Janie Briggs. Oh, guys, she's got glasses and a ponytail. Oh, look at that. She's got paint on her overalls. What is that, guys? There's no way she could be prom queen.
So, guys, it's a new year. No, wait. It's a new season of The Unusual Suspects. So I thought we'd bring back a segment that was quite a hit, I think, in the first season. And I think someone wants to get revenge on someone.
I can't remember which one this is.
Yeah, the Penny has no idea what the fuck this jingle's from.
I remember the jingle, but
I have to sing. Keyword challenge, keyword challenge, keyword challenge, keyword challenge. Which song with a big movie from the keyword? Something about picking a keyword challenge. Welcome to Keyword Challenge 2, The Revenge.
see, I was thinking we did this ages ago, but we didn't do keyword challenge ages ago, which makes it worse that I couldn't remember it.
It's been, according to my statistics in my head, 8 weeks, I think. Maybe 9, I don't know. It was last year, I think. We did it, maybe.
Oh.
Somewhere between January time, I think. If you don't...
It wasn't that long ago.
Okay, well, fine, whatever. So if you don't know what this is, we did the first ever keyword challenge, and Andy won convincingly.
Yeah, I wasn't very good at this.
The category was IMDb's top 100 films. And if you don't know what the fuck this game is, essentially IMDb have a bunch of keywords that they use to describe films on there. So like if you had, I don't know, not another teen movie, they would have parody or cream on there to describe said film. So the way this works is I'm going to give these two a keyword, and the quicker they can guess the film with less keywords, okay, if I give them one keyword and they guess it on the first keyword, they get 5 points. They get less points for each keyword I give out, etc., etc. I've changed the rules this time because last time it was a bit of a fucking shit show. So here are the new rules. If you answer and you get it wrong, the other person can steal, but they don't steal like one less point. They just give an answer and they'll get that point. So previously, Andy was like, I can get it, but my previous rule was I have to say the next keyword if someone gets it wrong. I'm not going to do that anymore. It's just a free guess. We're going to keep it simple.
So they just get a free hit?
You just get a free hit. There's no extra keyword.
He doesn't get another clue?
No, there's no extra keyword. You don't get one less point or anything like that. It's just, you get a free guess. That's it.
So if it's 4 points, he can guess it, no extra keyword, and he'll get 4 points, not 3 points.
That's if you get it wrong or something, yeah. So
I like that I'm talking like I will be able to get any points.
I'm already feeling smug, so this could go one of two ways.
Well, you're 1-0
Is there a specific category?
Is it horror movies? Because that would help me a lot.
That's what I thought. Now, I thought doing a specific category to help Penny out. So I think the way I'm going to do this, whoever loses the previous round, I'm going to go in their favor. So in terms of the films. However, I haven't picked horror. I have picked something else that's dear to Penny's heart. And this week...
To be fair, you probably end up picking a bunch of stuff and I still wouldn't know.
Probably. This week, we're going to talk about, or we're going to try and guess, 90s films. This is anything between 1990 and 1999.
Thanks for explaining the 90s to us.
You're more than fucking welcome. I can do it again.
The thing is, though, Andy can still be smug because my, what's it in Mastermind? What do they call it?
Specialist subject?
My special, oh no, it's not even my specialist subject. It would be teen movies from the 90s. So there's a whole scope of movies for me not to know in this.
I'm still feeling quietly confident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've upgraded the studio since you guys left last time. So if you do get the movie correct, since it is the 90s, you will hear this noise. Of course.
The fact that it's not Smash Mouth is devastating.
Oh, I could do that.
That was
next
2000 though, wasn't it?
No, it was 99. We confirmed this.
The very end of the 90s.
Just right at the end.
sorry.
It just pipped in. There you go. If you get it wrong,
Just
though,
imagine it just being like, somebody once told me.
If you get it wrong, you'll hear, and I couldn't find anything that would suggest a wrong. You'll hear this noise.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Which is That'll Do, Pig, That'll Do from Babe. It's the
surely these should be the other way round.
No, because you want to celebrate.
Because That'll Do, Pig is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're feeling blue, you're sad.
No, you would sing
Yeah,
a blue
he's got
because
you
it's a
there.
great song. But if you say That'll Do, Pig, you're like, oh, fucking well done, mate. That'll do.
I feel like he was not saying that to Babe in that context.
That'll do, pig. You're going on the barbecue, you prick.
Yeah. Fucking, there was a mid-credit scene in Babe that you missed out where he's like on a fucking hog roast and he's just like, that'll do, pig. That'll do.
I can't believe out of 90 for a 90s film competition, you picked Blue and a weird bit from Babe. Neither of these things scream 90s at me.
It's my 90s, all right? I made the fucking quiz, so we're going to do it. Right, anyway.
How old were you in the 90s, Dan?
What year in particular do you want to go up?
95.
95, I was 4 years old.
Yeah, just checking.
I remember it well. I was fucking singing along. Having a great time, you know, hanging out in the clubs.
It was a nursery club.
It was a nursery club. Just for, yes.
Well, that, seeing as how that wasn't out till 99, you were a bit older.
Jesus. All right, it's around the 90s. That's how I remember it. For fuck's sake, just be so anal about it. Anyway, we're going to fucking play...
We're talking about my specialist subject.
We're going to play 90s edition to help Penny out. I wish I didn't now. To help Penny out, the 90s keyword challenge. Can she claim the title for the first time? Here we go. Your first movie is... Oh no, your first keyword. Sorry, no, your first keyword.
Yeah, tell me the movie.
Is sneeze. For 5 points. Is sneeze. I've made this harder if you haven't realised already.
Sneeze.
Sneeze. You can let me carry on, or you can give a guess.
What 90s movie
Sneeze.
has an important enough sneeze in it that needs to be mentioned?
It's pretty important. Okay, I'm going to move on if no one gives me anything.
No.
Keyword number 2 for 4 points. Severed arm. So sneeze.
What?
And severed arm. I've definitely made this harder. I'm good. Good. This is good. This is what I wanted.
Severed arm.
Sneeze and severed arm. Everyone can play along at home. Just grab yourself a notepad and write down your answers.
Or just shout it at your...
Or just shout it at your podcast listening device of choice.
Alexa, it's... I don't know the answer.
By the way, their buzzers are their names. And Andy tried to do one syllable Andy last time, so you might try to do that.
Andy!
Hey.
It was so aggressive.
Oh, we're doing the same, don't worry.
Okay, sneeze and severed arm. I'm going to move on. So keyword number 3 for 3 points is dinosaur. Sneeze, severed arm, dinosaur.
I mean, fuck it.
I think that's Andy.
I feel like now it's so obvious, but I don't...
When you say it then. Andy, what's the answer?
I'm going to go for Jurassic Park.
Yeah, let's celebrate. Oh, fucking Andy's dancing as well. What a party.
See, that's what I thought, but I couldn't connect to anything else other than dinosaur.
I don't remember a sneeze.
Is that when the dinosaur sneezes in his face?
It's when the kids, I believe, are hiding and one of them sneezes, and I think one of the velociraptors notices the sneeze. That's why. Yeah. And the severed arm is the boy. The boy has a severed arm throughout the entire...
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. I watched it literally yesterday.
It took you that long to figure out.
He gets electrocuted.
Because...
Oh, yes. Yeah, he gets electrocuted. Sorry, I don't even fucking remember it, but either way, yeah.
Did you took these off IMDb, right? You didn't.
I'm looking at IMDb right now. Andy has 3 points. Congratulations.
Incorrect movie database.
Very good. Very good.
Andy with 3 points. Pen, what the fuck's going on? Come on, sort yourself out.
Whoa, nobody in Jurassic Park's got a severed arm.
It's only one question.
All right, next one.
I feel cheated.
Keyword number 1 is alien. I wonder what film this could be.
That wasn't out in the 90s, was it?
Was it?
Don't believe so.
Keyword number 1, alien. No one going for anything? All right. Keyword number 2, future, for 4 points. Alien and future. Oh, I definitely made this harder.
Andy.
Oh, Andy again.
Andy.
Yeah, go on, Andy. For 3.
The Fifth Element.
Wow. Sorry, for 4 points. Well done. I forgot to play the thing as well. Well done. Andy gets it. Yay. That's going to get really old really quickly if I keep fucking playing.
It's old already, mate.
I've never seen that movie.
You've never seen The Fifth Element?
Nope.
Wow. Okay, Andy.
You know me, I don't really like
90s films.
Space
I put this in your I thought you would do well.
That's not what I said. I said space and aliens and shit. I'm not really into sci-fi.
So Andy's very much in the lead at this point.
Yeah, we knew I wasn't going to win this.
Maybe, no, don't say that. Let the audience have something to cling on. They must have.
You're the
some
underdog
hope.
now. Everyone wants you to win.
Everyone
I
wants
won
you
the
to
last
win.
game we played.
No, you didn't. I won the last game.
Yeah, I did. Me, you, and Brad.
Oh, right, yeah, so you did.
Yeah.
Film number 3. Keyword number 1 is slavery. Keyword number 1 is slavery.
Penny.
Penny for 5.
Is it Interview with a Vampire? Is it?
That'll do, pig.
Ah.
That'll do.
That'll do, pig.
That was
I was trying to think out of the box.
Andy gets a free guess, so you just have the word slavery. Where would you like to go with this, Andy?
I'm going to go for Braveheart.
Braveheart is not correct, unfortunately. So I'm going to move on to the next keyword. I said that wrong. I looked at 2 words at the same time and combined them into one. Fucking hell, right. Keyword number 2. Torso cut in half. Slavery and torso cut in half. It's a pretty big keyword, that one.
Penny.
Penny.
It's not. It's not 13 Ghosts.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
I'm trying to think of torsos cut in half.
Andy, you get a free guess at this for 4 points, and he runs away with it.
Phantom Menace.
Like I've seen Phantom Menace.
This fucking thing is getting
You
so
know I don't like Star Wars.
You
How is
watched
this
Star
helping
Wars.
me?
You recently watched Star Wars. What the fuck are you talking
Not
about?
Phantom Menace.
Oh,
Everyone
I
says
didn't
that's the
know.
shit one.
I didn't know you didn't watch the
Nah,
fucking...
it's the best one. Jar Jar Binks.
No, I told you I watched the 2 oldest ones.
Next one. Jeez. Penny, for the love of God.
I don't think you are helping with Star Wars. Just say it.
Okay. So it's... right. Keyword number 1 of the next film is Space War.
Oh my god, I don't know any space movies!
It's not my fault. These are all famous 90s films. That might probably didn't see a fucking space film back in the 90s. Andy, what are you going to run away with this?
Is it
Space War for 5 points.
Is it is it Starship Troopers?
Right, next one. If Penny, if you get 1 point, you win the game. No, I'm joking. This is where the comeback happens. I think this is that. Starting with this film, I think Penny gets it.
Way.
No, I'm your only fan right now. So there you go, only fans. Right.
Please tell me it's not about space.
Can we...
Keyword number 1. Yes?
Can we double Penny's points?
Penny's points will be doubled from now on. Okay, here we go. Right, so that is the new rule. Keyword number 1.
Can we not just play the last game that I won?
Is nudity. 10 points for Penny or 5 points for Andy. Anyone
Penny. Is it the Full Monty?
Incorrect. Free shot for Andy.
Is it Eyes Wide Shut?
No. Stop playing that fucking thing until you get it right. I'm not playing the same. I have to keep going to my soundboard to play the fucking same thing. It's going to get old really quickly. All right, for 4 points, keyword number 2 is MILF. Nudity.
Penny.
Penny for 8.
American Pie. You can't find the sound. Yeah!
Yeah, 8 points. She's back in it. Andy, you made up this rule. You may come back to regret it. I'm just going to say she's already on 8. She's catching up with 1 correct.
I mean, I'm on 16, so I'm all right.
Right, we have 4 more movies left. So the next one, the keyword number 1, this is where Penny makes a comeback.
It's space.
Is space. No. The keyword number 1 is hidden camera. Hidden camera. Keyword number 1. They both look confused right now. Penny's thinking about yawning, but she's trying to hold it in.
No! I wasn't thinking about yawning.
I feel like I'm doing the snooker. You know? I feel like he's going for the shot.
Penny.
Penny with the putt.
That's golf.
Sorry.
You don't putt in snooker.
Sorry.
Is it Jackass?
Jackass? No.
I feel like that's too late, isn't it?
Free shot for Andy. Hidden camera.
Hidden camera.
90s film.
You didn't include porn, did you? Because that's not fair.
Why? What? Why would they include
Hidden camera porn? I don't know.
Yeah, that famous 90s hidden camera porn that I watched when I was about fucking, 6?
4.
That just sounds wrong. Jesus Christ.
I've got no answer. I'm not close to anything.
Okay, so for 4 points, keyword number 2, or 8 for penny's sake. Keyword number 2 is controlled environment. Controlled environment is keyword number 2. Come on, Pen. Hidden camera, controlled environment. Come on, Pen. Remember. I'm going to do the thing from Hocus Pocus. Remember.
Can you remember?
Remember.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Hidden camera, controlled environment.
No one?
There weren't any cameras in that, though.
Moving on. Keyword number 3.
I'm gonna kick myself, aren't I?
Keyword number 3 is fictional reality show.
Benny!
Is that Penny or Andy? I couldn't tell. But
That was Andy.
What do you mean you couldn't tell?
No, because he went
Truman
Penny.
Show.
What was that?
Oh, yeah, that film.
Truman Show.
Yeah, you get it already. It's just, I've given up.
That was 3 points, right?
That's 3 points,
Yep.
but Penny can still get this back. We have
I love how you guys are trying to make it so.
We're just trying to make it fair.
We have 3 films. She's definitely still in this. The next one, keyword number 1, is drugs.
Benny!
Oh no, Andy.
Train spotting.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh my god. My brain doesn't work for this game.
It's alright, Pen. If you can get...
It's fine.
Now, let me just calculate this up. Give me 2 seconds. All right, 10.
Give it 20 points on the last one.
No. Let me see if actually you can do it.
What's the game show that your mum and dad watch every day?
Richard Osman's House of Games.
Yeah, House of Games. Some of them, my brain is totally wired for those, and some of them I can't. No matter how hard I try. This one is
Pen,
one of them.
you are still in this, and you don't have to get the first keyword correct on both. So you can still... There's still some leverage here, but ideally, you need to guess on the second keyword.
Train too.
You need to guess on the second keyword for both, ideally. Okay? So, second last film. You still got this. Keyword number 1 is library. Library.
He's saying these like I should know from library. And Andy's got that smug face on, and I feel like he knows.
Keyword number 2 is genius. Genius. Library genius.
Penny. Goodwill Hunting.
No.
I don't think there's a library in that. I don't know.
Andy, free pop.
Andy knows.
A Beautiful Mind.
No. I'm going to move on.
I've never seen that.
Keyword number 3 is little girl.
Penny.
Pen?
Matilda.
Yes!
Yes!
6 points.
I'm glad I didn't get that one. I'll be honest. I'm glad.
Yeah, that's probably controversial if he did, but 6 points.
Was the next one pedophile?
Miss Honey. Pedophile. Anyway.
My maths says that if Penn gets the full 5 here, it's
10.
a draw.
If she gets the 10.
Sorry, the full 10.
It is a draw, I think.
It's a draw. Christ.
Right, so the
sad.
last film. Here we go. Pen, you can still have a bit of a...
I just want to point out, Scream came out 1994. Would have been really helpful.
Okay. So the next keyword, you can't just bribe me with fucking movies that you want me to put in.
You said you were doing this to help me.
Next keyword
And then you
is...
picked
I've already given you all the points.
Next keyword is... female protagonist.
I'll take it then. Andy.
That could be anything.
Andy.
Scream.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That still could have been anything.
I looked at you, Pen, and I went like... with my eyebrows.
I wasn't looking at you. I
Were
was
you looking at my
thinking.
smug face? Was that the problem?
No, I was just thinking.
set up so perfectly. Legitimately.
I went for Scream 2.
Legitimately, that was... I didn't go looking for it. That was always going to be the last one because I thought, like, I put something that Penny definitely knows as the last one. And of course...
See, then that's my fault because I mentioned it beforehand. So I assumed it wasn't that. So that's on me. Well done, Andrew.
I even paused to give you
time.
plenty of time to think about it.
Yeah.
I just assumed it wasn't because I'd already mentioned it.
Hang on a second.
It's my fault.
Let's cut that bit out. What's the last question, Dan?
No, I don't need that much pity. I beat you on the last one.
Don't do that. Get out of here. This isn't the fucking Radio 1 breakfast
I haven't
show,
lost every game. I just want to point that out. It was just this
the
one.
scores after this game and every game is Penny's 14, Andy's 20-something or other. Hope you have a lovely time listening to Keyword Challenge. We'll be back next time. Maybe a different category. Maybe Penny will win and I pick a category that suits her.
No.
Maybe not.
It's not my game. It's just not how my brain works.
You just got to find the right subject.
Movies. Right.
I'm weirdly quite good with the 90s. So, 29 points shows that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we know I won't make that mistake again. Anyway.
I'm sorry I let you down.
You didn't let me down. You let yourself down. You let the listeners down.
I don't know why we're talking about this like I've lost every game we've ever played. That is not true.
I'm winding you up the same way you wind me up with shit.
That's true. That's fair.
I think next time we need Penny to host the game. And then I'll get some real competition.
Yeah.
Oh, that's harsh.
Oh.
Because I'll beat you. I'll beat you fucking convincingly, mate.
That's the gauntlet down. There he is, drinking his gamer juice.
You said you wouldn't
Getting in
tell
the zone.
everyone.
I better come up with a game then, didn't I?
Anyway, that's Keyword Challenge. Join us next time. So our film out of the hat this week was my choice, and yes, again, after we had a week of Power Rangers a couple of weeks ago, I got my choice again. This time, it was the Vin Diesel classic from 2002, XXX. It's the fucking coolest name for a 2002 film I can think of. This stars Vin Diesel and a lot of celebrity cameos, I think. That's probably the best way to describe it, because there's just a lot of people in this. Try to count them all. And let's start, shall we? I know these two are excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
Listen to that dead air.
I'm going to preface this. I don't have anything interesting to say about this movie.
Yep.
So expect my notes to be the usual pointlessness.
You know how normally I take like minimum of 1,200 words in my notes? I've got less than 500.
Good, that's what I wanted.
Parts of this is like some other stuff happens. I've lost interest.
I didn't pick this to get like praise from you. I just picked this because I wanted us to relive the 2002 era yet again. And I think if anything represents it quite well, it is XXX with Vin Diesel. That's all I'm saying.
See, Penny should have loved it because she's been listening to new metal all week.
Actually, that's the only bit I did like.
Okay, we found something she likes
the
at least.
soundtrack.
There we go. Right.
But I'd like those 2 hours of my life back. Really.
Well, can't get them back, sorry. So, Anarchy 99 is a Russian terrorist group who basically are the main villains in this whole entire story. And to skip a bunch of fucking dialogue that happens at the start, they have a weapon of mass destruction.
Was that at the beginning?
Yeah, well, it's introduced when Finn gets introduced. I'm just skipping a couple of things. But anyway, the opening scene.
Oh, I thought they were just stealing cars.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what happened in this film, so I'm going to have questions.
Imagine that. She's watched it today. Doesn't know what happened.
Fucking hell. Like, fucking talk about putting the work in. Jesus. I care, listeners. I care. Anyway, we get an opening scene with Rammstein, and they're singing a German song. That's all I put.
I was like, Rammstein, you know they're not fucking around when Rammstein are in it.
Did you say they're singing a German song?
They're singing a German song.
Yeah.
They're singing a song.
I mean, most of their songs are in German, although there are a couple in Russian and Spanish.
The chorus is in English, though, isn't it? Yeah, most of the choruses.
No.
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 Du hast.
It's Feuer frei, if anyone is interested.
Okay, well, the only note I got of this is there's a guy who's in the concert.
I thought he was Jerome for a minute. Like when he popped up, I was like, is that Jerome or Robson? No, Jerome's the Game of Thrones one. He looked like him.
Okay.
It's literally my second note, is that Jerome? This is the quality of notes you're getting from me. Deal with it.
At one point, this guy who's walking into this concert, he ends up getting killed by these bunch of people on a balcony. It seems like there's a sniper up there, and he shoots this guy who's in the crowd, and they can't see him, and he seems to be holding something, and They shoot him at the exact time he looks like he's about to do a crowd surf, and he does a dead man crowd surf, which is strange, but yes.
It was pretty good.
So a dead guy's been shot by this group and stuff, which sets up the scene to our main character, which is the ever notorious Xander XXX Cage, who is an extreme sports professional wanted by the FBI for acts of protesting against a senator, to the point where he ends up stealing the senator's car.
Well, technically, he gave it to him. That was my note. Didn't he think he was a valet?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gave him his car.
Okay, he gave him his car then. He gave him his car, posing as someone who he's not. And I've got a thing on here where if you're rich and successful, would you stick a big sticker on your car saying skateboarding is a crime? Especially on a Ferrari. Like, if anyone noticed and paid attention to the film, there was a giant sticker on the back of the fucking Ferrari that said skateboarding is a crime.
It was a Corvette, but yeah, I agree with you.
Or Corvette, sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
Did you literally just say, for people paying attention, it had a sticker on it, but I wasn't paying attention and it was a Corvette?
That's the joke!
Yeah, I don't know why that sticker was there. I guess he's just against... Well, they explain. He says later on.
They explain he hates everything.
Yeah,
no. Xander
he
Cage
doesn't want
is like...
computer games.
He doesn't want computer games. He thinks metal music is bad for your soul.
He's the typical...
He's a square.
Square of the 90s. Oh, no, the early 2000s, sorry, in this case of, like, everything...
Don't ruin my decade with this shit.
What decade? You got all your questions wrong.
Everything the
all of them.
Everything the Utes do is bad guy, basically, is what this guy is. Yeah. So Xander ends up stealing the car. He has what looks like the early foundations of a YouTube channel going on, where he has giant cameras strapped to the car as he's doing a vlog in the car, talking about...
Yeah, I was like, are they just punking people by stealing cars? Like, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, he's filming.
Because he was a douchebag, so he's like, hey, Senator, I've stolen your car and you've been punked. And then he, like, throws it off a cliff or something.
It did...
After saying, welcome to the Xander zone.
You sold it.
It did make me appreciate GoPros. How small they are.
But this is like, I guess this is, 2002? So that was like very, very early on broadband. You know? Yeah. So I guess it was like, if you had a live stream or any kind of internet show, as they used to call it, or web show, yeah, you got to be pretty popular. Yeah.
Didn't she say she was making tapes?
I guess sending them out to people, I don't know. Like, it's 2002. I don't remember what we fucking used back then, but...
They weren't live streaming it. They were...
just recording it.
Recording it and then putting it up on a video.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Right. Yeah. Fair enough. I've been corrected about my own...
This was in the first half hour, so this is where I was paying attention.
The first 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. This is the only point I was paying attention.
Me too.
Pay attention for the listeners. They want to know about it if they haven't seen it, or they have. Pay attention for them.
It was so dull, you guys.
Oh my God. So anyway, Xander Cage, he's this like extreme sports dude who's Vin Diesel, essentially. And after he ends up like stealing the plane and stuff, he gets contacted by a guy called Gibbons, who is an NSA agent who's played by Samuel L. Jackson.
Isn't it weird seeing him with hair? I always find it really weird seeing him with hair.
Yeah, I also found it weird that Matt Hoffman was at the party.
And Tony Hawk as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cameos. And apparently the singer from Buck Cherry was also at that party. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, let me have a look.
I interviewed him once.
Oh, there we go.
When I was about 18. I didn't see him in this because I wasn't paying attention.
Josh Todd, the lead singer of Buck Cherry, makes a cameo appearance, though he never turns around. Oh,
what a cop-out.
Oh, no.
He was my first interview. I was fucking terrified, and it was me and his PR that I knew sat in a room, and he was literally, I don't know how much you know about Buck Cherry, but he was literally lounging on like a couch in leather pants and shirtless. It was so weird.
That's weird. That's really weird.
He was very nice, but I was terrified.
Anyway, he's in the film. His back of his head's in the film, if you want to know. Xander Cage ends up getting his whole party crashed by the NSA. How that aged like milk. And they want to recruit him because they want to recruit guys that are kind of different from special agents. I don't really know their reason. They're just sort of like, we need guys who are ruthless or something. And that's the reason why he wanted to go for Xander Cage and a couple of other guys, actually, who are all like people wanted by the FBI or people who are like, who have crimes or something against them, you know, not murder or anything, but just stealing.
Well, because there was that whole thing about his stupid tattoo, wasn't there? About like 3 strikes and you're out. So he had to do it, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's because he has XXX on the back.
I mean, it was his stupid hitman tattoo. But yeah, I guess that's why they picked him, because they were like, well, you're going to have to. Otherwise, he would have told them to piss off. And the movie would have been much shorter. So now I'm quite sad that it wasn't.
Okay. Are we just going to get comments all through that you hate this film?
Yes.
I think we will, yeah.
Think Animals United, Dan, but I won't be as angry as you.
Wow, really? Jesus, not that bad.
Yeah.
Hey, anyway, let me get through it so Penny can have a cry in a minute. So Gibbons, essentially, he ends up taking Cage into custody along with a couple of other people, 2 other guys. I forgot the names, but one of them looks like Vin Diesel's brother. He's also bald. And
is that why he looks like his brother? Just because he's bald?
Looks really like he looks like his stuntman.
Do you think all bald people are related?
No,
I thought it was Dave Mirra.
He just looks like his stuntman just kind of came in for like a role, like an on-screen talking role.
Maybe he did.
Don't know, maybe. He kind of looked like him. Anyway, he ends up taking them into custody and they have to pass 2 field tests, even though they don't know it. One of them is a field test where they're in a restaurant and he ends up passing it because he notices things in the restaurant where like there's a robbery going on, but he notices that the waitress is wearing heels. And he's like, if this was a real kind of scenario, the waitress wouldn't be wearing heels because she'd be walking all day. Some guy's reading the newspaper on a Sunday. That's not right. All these kind of stuff like
Financial Times,
supposed to be a trader. He's a smart dude. Is what we're trying to get here.
They were all fair points.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Positivity from Penny. Anyway, so the second field test he goes through is a little bit different. The first one's probably more intelligent wise. The second one is more bang, bang, pew, 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 bang, bang, bang. Shooty, shooty, bang, bang, if in case you don't know. Where he has to go and escape a Colombian cartel's plantation during an army raid.
Machete!
What?
Danny Trejo.
Yeah, Danny Trejo's in it.
Oh, Danny Trejo, yeah, sorry. Fuck, I was like, what? Danny Trejo's in it.
I was just reading my note. And it just says machete in capital letters.
I just have explosions in capital letters because fuck me, they had a budget of 88 million for this film. That fucking whole entire scene, all the budget.
Well, my next note goes into it as well because it says all those explosions and stuff, and his leather jacket is fine.
Yeah.
Like he's all covered in like soot and stuff, and his leather jacket is like in perfect condition.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Movies. So this huge like explosion-y kind of thing happens where he's trying to get out with his brother. He's not his real brother, but I'm just going to refer to him as his brother. He ends up stealing like a dirt bike, does a fucking stunt. There's a helicopter chasing. It's fucking amazing. It's so cool. Like, I don't care what you guys think. It's fucking cool. I think it's such a cool... He's doing stunts on the bike as well because he's a stuntman. It's fucking ridiculous. He ends up escaping and Gibbons is kind of like, well, you did a really good job with the restaurant and that Colombian drug cartel test that I put you under. I'm going to make you part of my NSA team and I want you to do a job for me or else you're going back to jail, so you have no other option.
I got frustrated with how he used the motocross bike. I've watched a lot of motocross in my time and for some reason he thinks pulling a Superman and kicking a dude in the teeth, bearing in mind that this dude is on a watchtower and you don't see him launch, he just appears out of fucking thin air, kicks this guy in the face and then continues and then lands presumably on flat, is going to fuck up the bike.
Yeah.
Also, he goes over a fucking flaming barn.
It's great.
Again, where's the ramp? I don't understand it.
It's mad. It's lovely, though. It's mad. It's eye candy, I think, in my eyes.
It's very much like Crank.
No.
Oh, there we go. Don't compare it. It's not like Crank. Don't just say every...
I think...
It's not like Crank.
I liked this less than I liked Casino Royale.
Jesus Christ.
I think I was more bored.
Can you stop saying what films you like this less than? Because that's all you're fucking saying at the moment. With the nicest of respect. Stop saying all the films.
I've got nothing else until we get to Russia.
Fine, then just shush for like a couple of minutes. So
it's technically Prague as well. It's not Russia.
Oh yeah, he has a real thing against Prague.
Cage ends up going to Prague. Jeez, I'm just gonna move along. He ends up going to Prague to meet.
Where?
For fuck's sake,
he's the king of snazzy jackets.
He is the king of snazzy jackets. To be honest, the fluffy. I don't know what you call them. The fluffy...
Like, that big fluffy jacket, I was a big fan of. It was a very...
popular thing back then.
Interesting and bold look for him.
Why? Because he has no hair? Is that what you mean?
No, I don't know. I was just like, he's supposed to be like this badass... He's kind of like a spy at the minute, isn't he? Because he's trying to blend in and get information.
He's a stuntman, but because of the silly, stupid plot this film is, the NSA think he's the next up-and-coming spy. So, yes, he goes on his first mission wearing a coat.
So he's wearing this big fucking sheepy jacket. And like when he goes to the bar and he's like, can you look after this? I'm just like, it's a bold look. I mean, I'm here for it.
No one is going...
But he wears quite a lot of snazzy jackets throughout this movie.
He's very noticeable. Just as soon as he gets into the
which
club.
is not very good for a spy.
So he ends up going to meet the support team in Prague, which includes a Czech agent, Milan Sova, who has been tasked with supervising and, if necessary, deporting Cage if he steps out of line. So Cage has to report to this guy, and they're going to track down the Anarchy 99 party, who are supposedly dealing with chemical weapons and mass destruction, Metal Gear.
I did not notice. I did not realize that the chemical weapons came in
until
quite a while.
Until the end of the film.
Until somebody literally said the word chemical weapons that I heard.
I'm certain it's in the first 10 minutes or so, or the first 15 minutes.
Well, I don't know. It's gone in 60 seconds in Russia. I still thought they were stealing cars at this point.
Fair enough. So what ends up happening is they get to this club, Xander and Milan, and they're supposed to be working together and trying to find where this party is in this club. But because Cage, essentially, XXX, is the worst kind of side man to have in a club, I would say, he ends up going straight towards the guys who are the bad guys, who are the Anarchy 99, and just goes, hey, the guy over there, he's a cop. So he rats him out straight away with just working with him for 5 minutes. He already says, I don't care.
Is that to like get their trust?
Yes.
I guess
he thinks the better plan, which is true. Later down the line, it gets even more deeper into that territory, but he thinks the best thing to do is to just rat on the guy and say, yeah, he's a police officer. Now you can trust me because I know. And he says this to the leader, the guy, the bodyguard.
And no one's like, how did you know he was a cop?
No, they do, Penny, if you paid attention.
No, I was out. First half hour, I'm done.
They say, how do you know he's a cop? He said, well, he's been waving his badge everywhere when he was ordering drinks and stuff. That's how I know. Check his pocket. And they check his pocket and he has a badge and he ends up getting kicked out of the club. And he's like, now you can trust me. I need to buy some cars, essentially, is what he wants from these guys.
That's why I thought they were still stealing cars.
It's not Fast and Furious.
He was initially, yes, that's the lead-in. He wants to steal cars. That's the lead-in. But the real thing is to find out information about them and then report it back to Samuel L. Jackson, essentially. One of the guys who is the leader, who I thought was called Yorkie. It's not Yorkie. It's Yorgi. Yorkie is a different friend of ours. So he is the leader of this Anarchy 99 group. He ends up talking to Cage about cars and what cars he wants. He wants 10 cars. I'll pay this amount of money. And if you sort me out, mate.
Sort me out, geez.
And I've already ratted out a cop for you, all that kind of stuff. Also there is Yelena. Is it girlfriend? I think she is his girlfriend. I'm not too sure.
I don't know if she's his girlfriend, but she definitely works
for him. Yeah, I don't think they're together though. That because the next scene would be very, very risky if she was. He meets her, and they give Cage an account number to transfer money to, and they argue about pricing and stuff. There's a bit where he kisses her in a club and asks her.
It's weird, isn't it?
Just go straight up to her and kiss her, and asks her to tuck him in at night and stuff.
But
the kissing is weird.
He wraps his arms around her, and her arms are down by her side, so she can't move. It's fucking weird.
He's not necessarily forcing it, but he's more or less saying, like, it's a very, like, forward way of thinking, yeah, I'll just kiss this person. And then, yeah. But she tells him to essentially fuck off.
I don't ever want to kiss him because he looks like he's a weird kisser.
Well, I'll let him know.
Please do. Tell him I like his jackets, though.
What about it is weird?
I don't know. Just looked odd.
It's probably because he wraps his fucking arms around and locks the arms down.
So Gibbons calls Cage to talk about the plan. He's very impressed by Cage. He's managed to find important information, including the account number and stuff, bank account number. And he's so impressed by this, he's like, I'm going to get you on another assignment. And the other assignment is you're going to go deeper, Cage. You need to know more information. You're already planted in their trust. You need to gain more trust. So I'm going to send you Gibbons, who is our tech specialist. Sorry, Gibbons says, I'm going to send you Toby Shavers, great name, Agent
Toby Lee.
What?
I had to look it up. His
Toby
name's
Lee
Toby
Shavers.
Lee, but I was like, what the fuck kind of name is Toby Lee?
It's
Yeah.
Toby.
Yeah, Toby Lee Shavers.
Yeah, but the way he said it, I was like, Toby Lee?
Mr. Agent Shavers is the tech specialist, and he's going to provide Cage with some special gadgets. Can anyone remember the gadgets?
Yes.
I remember the one that's got penetrator mode.
Yeah, there's a lot of penetrating in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, the creepy, let's see that lady's bones and underwear binoculars.
Which is weird that you would see the
Yeah, you should-
underwear and the bones at the same time.
And the bones, yeah. It didn't really work. Like it should be bones or underwear, not both.
Yeah,
Calling it penetrator mode is extra creepy.
Yeah, early 2000s though, isn't
2002.
it?
Yep, that's that's the excuse I'm going with this film.
Yep.
And there's also a special revolver that shoots technically blanks, but a special kind of blank where it will shoot at a person and put red paint on them, but won't actually kill them. And there's another one.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I think that'd be quite cool.
Because you could shoot someone you know.
Well, maybe
Like you
later in the film.
Well, I don't remember.
Penny's writing the film itself.
They're tranquilizers, aren't they?
They are, yes.
No, that's the other ones.
No, they're both tranquilizers.
They're both tranquilizers, yes. Because Vin says, I got shot by one of these. That's how he got captured by Gibbons and stuff like that.
He gets caught a lot, doesn't he?
He does.
He's fucking useless.
He doesn't really care half the time. I feel like 'cause the thing about it that makes the film special is...
Special.
Yeah, not entirely Vin Diesel. This was during the time when Fast and Furious just came out. I think the year before Fast and Furious 1 literally just came
Yeah,
out.
2001.
So he was still trying his best, but as time went on, he just slowly morphed into So this version of Vin Diesel I kind of like, even though he's not the best actor in the world or anything. It's kind of like a more energetic side, I think, which especially in this film I find a little bit. Either way,
I would agree. He's got range.
yeah, a little bit.
And he doesn't have that in the more recent films. Like he can emote instead of looking like a thumb.
Yeah, he gets scared in this film at one point. We'll go to that, but yeah. So he gets all this special gadgetry stuff. Essentially, Shavers is essentially Q. If we were going to compare this to Bond films, which we won't. But either way, they were highly probably influenced. I mean, this film was probably highly influenced by it, maybe. He also gets explosives disguised as bandages as well, which Shavers demonstrates and blows the whole office spectacularly as well.
Here's what I don't get about those exploding bandages, right?
Yeah.
Shavers says they can blow through a wall, vaporize a person, and then he puts it on a desk and stands, I reckon, 2 meters away.
It's the trigger.
He should be dust.
He seems a little bit, not nuts, but
of a prick.
But kind of silly, stupid for a special agent. Shavers.
He wants to get in the field, doesn't he? He's desperate to get in the field. That's what it is.
Fair enough. So Cage attends the card deal, which he made with Yorgi. Unfortunately, gets interrupted and ends up being Sova, which was the cop guy who was in the club that Cage ended up saying, that's a cop. And ends up gaining trust of Anarchy 99. Yorgi says, how come it's not one of your guys? And then Cage thinks, well, it might be one of your guys. So they don't trust each other, so they decide to work together. And then Cage, very crafty, uses his gun, blood splat gun, I guess, on Sova and shoots him to make him look like he's been killed, therefore gaining the trust even more of Yorgi. And he's like, welcome to Anarchy 99. That's the worst accent I ever put on. I'm trying to do Russian.
You've definitely done worse.
Yeah, you have.
Da.
Is this when he gets the pretty car?
Yes, the GTO.
I like the car. Yeah, it's pretty. I like it.
The GTO?
That's all.
He gets a Ford GTA, doesn't he? I can't tell what colour it is. Sometimes it's black, sometimes it's blue, other times it's purple.
Sometimes purple.
That's
It's
at the
pretty.
end.
No, he gets it here.
No, the car he has the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
He throws
yeah.
it in
Sorry,
as part of the deal because that's how he pays himself.
So he's earned Yogi's trust, ends up joining the club. Yogi brings Cage back to his castle after the dance party at one of his nightclubs that serves as Anarchy's 99 headquarters. Cage, while searching for a biological weapon, catches Elena investigating Yogi's secret safe. And beforehand, when he shot Sova, he ended up doing a dramatic look as she drove past him, and her eyes and his eyes met. Like, she had a face of concern.
They have a really weird conversation at this point, and it's very cheesy and very cringy.
Yep.
And I didn't like it.
Well, there was also a scene cut out from the version that we watched, which is him getting a lap dance.
Oh.
When?
That
The uncut X-rated double triple X version.
that would have held my interest slightly longer.
Yeah, maybe that's the one I've been watching. But when he goes back to his room, after he gets back to the castle, he walks in and there's a scantily clad woman in there.
Okay.
He gives him a lap dance. Can't tell you how I remember that, but it was definitely in there.
He remembers it in HD.
Integral to the plot. So he ends up looking for any kind of traces of the biochemical weapon. He finds Elena investigating the secret safe, and essentially he tells her that I didn't shoot the guy. You can kind of trust me. I'm going to try get you out this mess. And she's like, what mess? The one who goes around snooping around. I saw in your eyes when you passed me.
Yeah. It's your eyes that gave you away.
That's it.
And I've written fuck off because it was cheesy and it was awful.
Jesus Christ. Really bad day for Penny.
I
Jesus.
can't believe how badly you're reacting to this.
Yeah. This is...
If it helps, my next two notes, because I don't know where they come in, sorry Dan, are...
No, don't say them yet.
Well, I don't know where they come in.
Yeah, they're probably later on.
The next three notes, but it just says, his mates are buying biological weapons. I thought they stole cars. I don't care. God, how is there another hour of this shit?
Okay, fine. Thanks for your input.
You're welcome.
So he ends up taking Elena to a nearby restaurant to discuss the matter, and he reveals his true identity. He says, I'm not the man you think I am. I can't do a Vin Diesel impression. It's really hard.
I'm Xander Cage, bitch.
Meanwhile...
It's another nice jacket, though.
Meanwhile, Sova, who, if you didn't know, was on the phone to Yorgi, because you don't really hear it, he's on the phone to him. So now he's working for Yorgi, and he ends up saying who the true identity of Cage is on the phone, which then prompts Anarchy 99 to phone Elena while she's in the restaurant with Cage there and say, Cage is an American, he's part of all of this kind of... They're going to...
That's why she's supposed to kill him.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So one of the guys, part of the crew, says, I'm outside with a sniper rifle. Just walk on by and I'll shoot him in the head, I guess, is how we're going to do it. In front of everyone and her. Nothing suspicious about that. So he's like, just walk outside, don't tell him I've told you anything, and I'll shoot him. So she, of course, tells him that there's a sniper outside, and he decides to come up with a plan, which is one of the most Vin Diesel plans ever. He takes her, walks out normally of the restaurant, seats two waiters with two trays on their hands, just kind of fumbles around with the trays, and then punches Elena in the face as if he was like having a fight with her to get away from her to keep her identity,
He
fine.
was very like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, it's
with
so
the trays,
clumsy the way it does it.
Your classic hot potato incident, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very hot potato. Like, you don't. If you saw it again, you'd be like, "How did that go into a fight and him punching her?" It doesn't make any sense. But either way,
yeah, because at one point I thought, did he pick up a tray and smack her with it?
He did pick up a tray and smack her with it. Then he goes outside, uses that tray, and uses the power of the sun to blind the sniper with the tray. It is fucking fantastic. This film is amazing. I don't care. I love it. He uses the power of the sun. Come on, guys.
I mean, it is quite impressive. It's the bit immediately after that is more impressive, I think. He grinds down some rails using the tray to get away.
Oh, God, yes. Even better. I mean, he's extreme, man.
I feel like I missed some good bits.
He's absolutely extreme. Extreme to the core. Yeah, shaka bra.
I also didn't know he was an extreme sports guy until you said it earlier.
It's literally in the first fucking 15 minutes. Anyway, the sniper, Krill, is in love with Elena. I didn't know that. And he warns her.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they were in love. I'm missing details myself now. That's weird. Maybe I missed that when he said he confesses a love to her and stuff. So they end up staging a fight and all that kind of stuff, and he gets away. Then he gets captured
again
by a couple of people again. But when we think this is Yorgi and stuff, it's not. It's the NSA, and they end up bringing Cage to a stage show, and Gibbons is there. Elena goes,
"Do you say a stage show? You make it sound like it's a panto. It's an opera."
I mean, he's the only one there, and it's a bit strange and weird that they perform just for him.
It's an opera. Let's not call it a fucking stage show.
Fuck it out, all right. Jesus Christ. Everyone's so anal today. Gee, whatever. A stage fucking fuck show, whatever. So they end up...
Pay attention, Penny. Don't talk about too many details, Penny.
It's me against the world.
No, who's winding who up?
Gibbons ends up talking to him, saying that essentially your identity's been revealed to them, so you're done. You can
go home.
Go home, Cage. You're drunk. So go home. Go back to America. Your cover's blown, and special forces are planning to siege the castle, and they will kill everyone. And he's like, no, you can't, because woman and feelings.
I wish you'd said it like that.
It is very much that, isn't it?
It is very much that, yeah. Woman, feelings for her and things like that. So he refuses. He's fearing for Elena's life and bitter that Sova purposely blew his cover. Cage sneaks into Yorgi's castle and follows him into a secret underground lab. And Cage overhears Yorgi's plan to launch the Silent Knight. Oh, from a waterborne drone called Ahab, I think it's called. Yeah, Ahab.
Yeah, some Moby Dick reference.
So it'll come on later, but this is also another genius thing of the film. Like, the ending to me is fucking amazing, this film. I think the ending is just so much shit.
What?
Yeah, it's just not in terms of, oh, it's great. Like, it's so fucking stupid at times, but either way.
Yeah.
They're going to put, essentially, later on in the film, they're going to put missiles on a fast speedboat, would you say?
The Mountain Dew missiles.
Yeah, the Mountain Dew missiles.
Yeah, I remember those.
They turn into black, basically, yeah.
I always thought it was a submarine, but I don't think it is.
I thought it was a submarine as well. So when it was like in the...
No, it was just a speedboat, wasn't it?
At the end of the film, when it didn't go underwater, I was like, why didn't they just...
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute, because, yeah. So... he ends up going to the lab. He uses the penetrating binoculars to see through the walls. He sees the actual nuclear chemical weapon, and he gets a little fright because they turn it on while people are inside because they need to test it. And Yorgi kills all the scientists because he needs to test it, see if it works. And it does, and it kills all of them. And Cage is like, a little bit. He's a little bit.
I wonder if it's because he was blinded by the explosion.
Maybe, actually. But he did have like a bit of emotional reaction to it, and it made me laugh a little bit when I saw it. Because it's the only like scared, worried Vin Diesel I've ever seen.
I mean, it's the most emotion he's ever shown in a film.
It is.
So.
It is. In his career. So Cage flees the area after killing Kolya? I forgot. That's one of the bodyguards, if I remember. At his hideout, he finds Sova waiting for him. And now Sova reveals that he's in Yorgi's employment. He's double-crossed him now, even though in the way Cage was trying to do the right thing and get deeper into the guy's trust so he could infiltrate. Yeah, the character for him is a bit weird, but...
He's a sneaky bloody Czech, isn't he?
Well, yes, a bit. Okay.
What's wrong with that?
It's the early 2000s, he can say that.
It's true. But before Sova can kill Cage, Elena... she shoots the fucking doors and kills him, Sova, and reveals herself to be an undercover FSB agent who was abandoned by her handlers in Soviet Russia.
Oh,
so
didn't know that.
Fuck's. So Cage relies.
I'm learning.
Cage then tells the plans of Yorgi's plans to the NSA. He said, if I can stop them, will you grant Elena asylum in America so that she's safe? Gibbons says, Maybe. We'll see. I can't really grant it.
I feel like he says he doesn't have the
Authority.
jurisdiction to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't do that.
Cage then gives his car to Shavers, and he tells him to load it up with weaponry. This is where the car becomes fun. We then get the snowboarding scene.
Oh, man.
Where Vin Diesel...
So, not knowing that he was an extreme sports person, I was like, what the fuck is this about people snowboarding out of planes? Because it was like Power Rangers again. But then I was like, oh, he's landed on snow. So
he was like snowboarding on a fucking dinner tray. Or
I didn't see that bit. Also, before you get more annoyed at me, after he's finished snowboarding, he's standing there for a while and he really looks like Andy Samberg.
Thanks.
I got a message from Penn saying there's an hour left. Do you reckon I should watch the rest of it or just not bother?
I'm being really harsh on this film.
Yeah, just fucking watch it.
I really was bored.
Yeah, it's just an action film. There's nothing bad about it. It's a cheesy action film. Like, that's it.
It's fine. I don't really like action films, so it didn't hold my attention and I was bored.
James Bond.
I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm just being honest.
I know. This is the problem, though. If we bring up like a James Bondy type of action film that, possibly me or Andy will watch, you would just go, nah, it's shit, not watching it.
No, I liked Power Rangers and I liked Crank.
All right.
I can't believe you liked Power Rangers more than this.
Exactly. That's even I'm
Power
saying
Rangers
that.
was fun.
Okay, let's move on. Stop arguing, kids. Come on. So Cage paratroops from a plane on a snowboard in a snowy region near Anarchy's 99 communication tower. He starts an avalanche, essentially.
Yeah.
Because he destroys the tower. And the way he gets out of this is fucking genius. Is where he snowboards. I mean, it's stupid. Everything in this film, when I say genius, it's stupid. That's what I mean. He ends up causing an avalanche, snowboarding throughout the whole thing, jumps on a pole, I think it's a telephone pole or it's a communication pole or something, and hangs off the top of it, and then the avalanche kind of fills the entire height of the pole, so he just has to like step out. It's hard to explain.
Doesn't he like snowboard on a roof while the avalanche is chasing?
He's snowboarding everywhere. It's fucking huge. Like, it's the biggest fucking avalanche everywhere, and it's right next to him the whole time. He never loses speed the whole entire time. Apparently, as well, just a fun fact, he did actually do majority of the stunts for this film. He did like the bike stuff and the bungee jump at the start of the film and stuff like that. However, speaking of things we talked about a couple of weeks ago, which terrible things happened on movie set, his stuntman died. And they kept the footage in this film of his stuntman. But he did die during one of the scenes.
Which scene was it?
Because he did it right the first time.
Yeah, he did it right the first time. I can't remember which scene it was, but he did it right the first time, and the second time he got it wrong.
When he was on the bridge scene, so I guess that's the bit near the end, on the bridge, when he's on the speedboat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and apparently...
There's two bridge scenes, yeah. There's one at the beginning, one at the end.
Oh, well, yeah, he did it the first time and he wanted to do it again, and then he died.
So yeah, he starts an avalanche and the whole thing, he ends up safely on a pole after the avalanche, because action film.
Vin Diesel.
He destroys the tower, but he's captured by Yogi, who already knew Elena's identity right from the very start, which seems to make me think, why didn't you do anything?
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking stupid. I don't know. That doesn't make sense either. What if you knew she was like part of the FSB, why did you keep her around?
Why did you show her these nuclear weapons?
Yeah. And she knows where the safe is. So as Yogi prepares to kill both Elena and Cage, the special forces attack, and Cage and Elena free their restraints, but Yogi launches the speedboat essentially before Cage kills him. Now, during this scene, I've got a couple of notes. So the fucking jacket that Vin Diesel wears, I don't know if anyone noticed this, but just me, right? He's wearing like the black kind of jacket with the guns and stuff. He's got the guns, and Elena makes the joke of the safety's on, and he doesn't fire the gun and all this. So during that scene, the jacket he has on has like a red zipper. Did you notice?
Right.
I feel like this is the one jacket I didn't notice out of all of the fancy jackets.
It made me laugh so stupidly, but it looked like he had a little red tie on. It was so big. Like the zipper, you know when you get zippers and they have like a bit of fabric on the end of them so you can grab and pull them. Rewatch it, but the red bit on his zipper is so big. It looked like he had a little tie on with his gun.
I mean, now I'm going to rewatch it for sure.
You have to. I kept laughing at it. I didn't notice the first time I saw this film, but yeah, it looked like a little red tie. Anyway, Vin ends up killing Loverboy, who loves Elena, with a heat-seeking missile. because he's smoking a cigarette. He fires a rocket because he told him to stop smoking and he knew he was smoking a cigarette, so he fired a rocket. And of course, the fucking missile launcher ends up going straight towards him in this base.
Doesn't he say something like, stop thinking tactics, start thinking PlayStation?
Yeah, there's so many fucking quotes. Yeah, we need to go explosions. We need explosions. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's every teenage boy's action movie fantasy is this film, I think. Honestly, it honestly is. I honestly think it is. It's got everything. It's got absolutely everything.
There's not really enough boobs in it.
Well, there are in the version that I fucking watched, but not in the one that we watched the other day.
Triple X version. There you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say, there's a little bit of weird snogging, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So the way Yorgi dies is also kind of funny in my eyes. He's getting away on his speedboat, even though he's launched another speedboat with the missiles on it that's going towards the town, essentially, which is going to be like 50 or 100 miles away. Why didn't they just put the boat in the nearer to the town instead of, like, I understand because Vin Diesel needs to chase it and have an action scene, but it's so stupid.
Because if it's gas, right, isn't that going to affect, like, how far is it? That's why I was confused. I'm like, he's still there and he's gassing not that far away from him. Surely he needs to be further away.
What are you talking about?
Yorgi?
Yeah.
He would have gone in a different direction.
Yeah, he was going in a different direction than the other one. Anyway, he tries to go in a different direction. And Vin Diesel ends up shooting him terribly. But then he gets him with a couple of shots and the boat explodes into a wall. A big giant fire explosion.
Oh, that was good.
It was a good explosion.
That made me laugh.
So stupid.
And Yorgi's dead. However, the speedboat with 3 missiles on it, which is the chemical weapon called Silent Night, is heading towards a town. So he's going to get in his car, Vin Diesel and Elena. They're going to push a bunch of buttons to remove the roof, because of course that's a feature. And blow up a spud cart. Looked like as it was in the way. They literally fire a rocket launcher at a bunch of spuds in the middle of town. It's fucking brilliant. I love it. Just so we can get out of the way.
I like that, like, there was a tractor on its side and there was someone who was clearly in pain. Then all of a sudden, this blue GTO appears out of nowhere, blows it up and fucks off.
So the Czech military prepares to destroy Ahab, which is the speedboat, essentially, with airstrikes, though this will release some of the biochemical agent. Cage and Elena take their car, now heavily modified by Agent Shavers, to race alongside the river to catch up with this speedboat Metal Gear type of thing, I guess. Cage harpoons the drone, and then when he gets... It makes me laugh all the time. He harpoons it to attach himself to it. Then he gets his fucking parachute out, and it's a giant American
That fucking parachute.
Oh,
I was
it's
like,
so
really?
stupid.
It's so stupid.
It's so bad.
And then he parachutes onto the speedboat. It's nearly at the destination, I would think, because it's like doing the beeping noise, which I guess confirms that it's near its destination. I don't know.
Well, and stuff's changing colour, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it goes from Mountain Dew to, like, it starts going black.
The hacker's effect. Just make a pew, 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 explosion noise and stuff like that. So he harpoons over, crosses onto it, and disables the weapon. And the way he disables the weapon is he very easily removes one of the missiles and put it upside down inside. So I was thinking, oh yeah, then it can go in the water. But then I would think it's so powerful that the boat would flip on itself and just keep spinning like a loop to loop instead of just going straight down. You know what I mean? Like that's why.
My question is, how did it ignite the rocket? Because either the rocket is...
that's what it's attached to.
Either the rocket is ignited by the boat, in which case you take it out, you're fine, or it's self-propelled, and then why do you need the boat?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why is it in a holster?
The boat is so unnecessary.
When he took it out, I thought he was gonna fucking yeet it himself. Or like, like just the way
I wish
the way he was holding it, and I was like, well,
it.
yeah, and I was like, well, he can't do it up. So I was like, maybe because wasn't it? Don't they run it through water and then it's harmless again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that the thing? So I was like, maybe he's gonna throw it into the water.
When I saw it first time, I was like, I thought he was literally taking it and going to jump in the water with it, so he gets like shot into the water with it.
That's what I thought.
But there was 2 left on top, so I was like, how is he going to? He's going to grab all 3, hug them, and then jump in the water. I don't know. Either way.
Here's my question for you, right? If you're designing a rocket that is stabilized by water, Why would you put it on a fast-moving boat where there's going to be spray?
Why would you put it on a boat that's easily accessible by anyone jumping on it? And why would you like have it drive all the way, like a very far
Action
away?
Action films.
That's true. I know, chasing, all that kind of
Stuff, action films.
So he ends up putting one of the rockets upside down. The rocket goes off, so the boat itself goes underwater, and then it keeps pushing the boat underwater. So does he, as he shouts,
welcome to the Xander
welcome
Zone.
to the Xander Zone.
Fucking Xander Zone. Get
and he
fucked.
goes down.
He's shouting that at a boat.
At a boat.
Like a prick.
He then goes underwater. Everything explodes underwater. There's a big kind of water fountain, I guess, coming out of the water. And Gibbons and Elena are there at the bridge, and they're like, he's not coming up. It's too late. Gibbons then says to Elena, I know it's not much, but I will keep my promise, and I'll grant you asylum. And then Elena sees him on the other side of the bridge.
A little cold, Vin Diesel.
And he's a little bit cold.
He's cold and he's shivery.
And the only...
This is a weird thing to get annoyed about, but there's absolutely no way she would have been able to see him.
Yeah, I know, but movies. This is one of those movies where it doesn't make sense, but either way. So the only thing he can say to Gibbons as they see him on the other side of the bridge is Bora Bora, which he mentioned early on in the film.
And they can't hear him anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't hear him.
Also, that reference of Bora Bora, he said to someone totally different. So they've got no reference of it at all, and they're just going, why is he fucking shouting?
I think it's more or less he's saying it to himself, like, I need to go to fucking Bora Bora and relax. Kind of like, I'm done now, I need to relax. So yeah, the next scene is them, Cage and Elena, relaxing in Bora Bora. I fucking love phones in the 2000s because the Motorola phone, right? Like, you know, when they do video calls, especially the last scene, you got Samuel
Jackson. It was like a little Game Boy, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you got Samuel L. Jackson, like, talking to him, but the fucking video on the phone is filmed like a movie. So I'm like, who's there with the camera, like, side to side? It's like, oh, it's so stupid. Cage and Elena end up relaxing in Bora Bora when Gibbons contacts Cage to offer him another mission. Cage ignores him, and the film ends. And yes, there were 2 more films after this. Penny,
I'm assuming nobody knows if all of those tattoos on Vin Diesel are real.
Fake.
In this film. Because he has a lovely tattoo around his nipple that makes it look star-shaped. Because it made me do a double take. It was really odd. He's got like a sun tattooed around his nipple, and it just makes his nipple look spiky, and it was weird.
And that's Penny's ending comment. That was the 2002 film. Yep. XXX starring...
That was my last note.
Vin Diesel. Penny, what do you think of the film? I mean, we already know, but yeah.
Sorry, everyone. I don't like action films. I was really bored.
Action girl? No.
It didn't hold my interest at all. I didn't care about any of it. It can have 2 points. 1 for the jackets and 1 for the new metal soundtrack. 2 out of 10.
See... Okay, Andy, what do you think, Phil?
Do you know what? He might actually have that XXX tattoo on his neck.
Really?
Oh, no.
That's dedication. I mean, they did make 3 films out of it and a recent one, so yeah.
I can't work out if it's real or not. As far as I'm aware, he doesn't have the
nipple tattoo.
The nipple tat.
I love that you looked it up for me, though. Thank you.
You're welcome. So you gave this a 2, did you?
I did.
I mean, that's a travesty.
That's on, like, near levels of 50 Shades of Grey. What the fuck?
I mean, yes, I am cranky today, and yes, I did watch a boring film beforehand, but I couldn't, like...
Pen, I'm afraid for your reputation here.
I don't have one.
Nation's favourite.
It couldn't hold my interest. It couldn't... Nothing... The fact that my notes are all about nipple tattoos and jackets says how much I was not interested in.
Says a lot about you.
Sorry. Yeah, that too. I just, nothing hooked my attention.
Okay.
The end was a bit better with the speedboat and the Mountain Dew rockets and stuff. I was a bit like, oh, what's going to happen? But possibly also because I knew I was near the end.
Okay,
so,
Andy.
Yeah. Sorry.
I must admit, this is an incredible film.
Yes! I knew he liked
2002. It's kind of everything you want from an early 2000s action film, but also it's fucking boring. Like, I'd much rather watch... I'm sure we've discussed this again recently, but I'd much rather watch The Transporter than this.
Yeah, I would.
I think if you want to watch any film with a big bald man in it, Jason Statham's the one.
The only reason I put this in the film is I don't take this film seriously. I just find it's it's silly. It's one of those silly films.
I agree with you.
You know.
I agree with you. But also, Predator's a silly film. It's still very fucking good.
Sure.
This one is just like, let's try and make everything so fucking cool. Let's give them some fucking Ray-Bans. Let's give them leather jackets. Oh, Ferraris. Oh, now he knows Tony Hawk. Oh, is that new metal?
Penetrator binoculars.
Is that fucking Drowning Pool we can hear? Like...
That was good, though.
Is that Queens of the Stone Age?
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, the soundtrack does save it. But also...
Soundtrack's fucking awesome. Yeah.
The worst part is, though, this is the best one of the franchise.
It is, yeah. This is the best.
Like, by a fucking distance.
You didn't rate the 2017 one? Return of...
It's dreadful, that one.
It is a bit, yeah.
What's it called? Return of the Nipple Tattoo?
Return of Xander Cage, I think 3 is called.
Yeah. Return of the Mac.
Return of the Mac.
It's just terrible.
Okay.
So I'm going to put it straight down the middle and give it a 5.
Oh, okay. That's generous.
I would watch it, and I didn't dislike it, but I did get bored midway through.
Fair enough.
See, not just me.
I describe this film, like I do with many action films, as a fast food movie. It's it's the kind of movie you just would like stick on, and you don't really pay
I'm slightly offended for fast food.
And you don't pay attention much to the plot, even more so than Penny did. And you just sort of watch explosions happening and stupid things happening on screen and stupid quotes and stupid writing. And I fucking love it. That's the reason I put it in. Because I remember seeing this way back in the day and thinking, this is silly, but I actually had fun with it. I enjoyed it because it was so stupid and over the top, and just Vin Diesel is Vin Diesel, and he'll always be in my heart in anything he makes. However,
this may be my first Vin Diesel movie. I don't know.
It's not, because you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
However,
is he in that?
He's Groot.
However,
oh, that doesn't count. That's not a Vin Diesel movie.
However,
you get more emotion out of him in that film as Groot than you do in any of the latest fucking Fast and Furious films. And having seen all of them, I can confirm that. Anyway, Dan, continue.
However, it is still stupid and unbelievably plot holy, and there's a lot of things that don't make sense. It's an action film, though, so I'm willing to suspend my disbelief for 2 hours, which is a little bit too much. A little bit too much. 1 hour 30 would have been nicer. I think there's like half an hour towards that ending scene where they chase the boat as well. It's like half an hour long.
Wait, how long's the version with the lap dance in it then?
It's probably 2:15, I would imagine, or something.
I think it was only the lap dance that was cut out, annoyingly.
Is that the only thing they cut out? Wow.
It's the only bit I can remember them cutting out, yeah.
So
it's the one bit that's worth seeing as well.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it is what it is, and I understand it is what it is, but I still enjoy it and still love it to this day, years later. 7.
Good.
7?
Yeah.
Wow.
Higher than Power Rangers.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, we're back to film out of the hat, I guess. So let's see what we're watching in 2 weeks, guys. Hopefully it's not another one of mine, because I've had 2 in a row now. So I don't think Penny has had one this year, right? Or Andy, one of you hasn't.
Go. Was that this year?
Go was yours. Andy, did you have one yet?
Go was mine.
I don't think you have.
Funny Games.
Oh, Funny Games, of course. Yeah. Okay, well, let's see what we're going to have next time in 2 weeks. It's a Penny film?
Oh,
I like that you don't know.
The way I'm set up, I've got like a random number generator. Then I have to match the number up with the list that people give it to me, and then look who put in that. Like, yeah, it's a little process. I could probably shorten it, but either way.
All of this could be done easier on a spreadsheet.
All this could be done easier if I had a magic ball machine. Oh, wait. Maybe I just ordered one from you.
Maybe you need 2 magic ball machines.
You're going to have to order a second one.
Oh, I'm going to have to order a second claw machine. No one's going to know
what we're talking about.
The next After Dark, you'll probably know what I'm talking about, but either way. The next film out of the hat that we're going to watch in 2 weeks.
Is it bad I want it to not be a horror film, just for proof?
It's not a horror film.
Ooh.
It is 40 Days and 40 Nights, the romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
After a brutal breakup with his girlfriend, Matt vows to stay celibate during the 40 days of Lent. After a few days later, he meets Erica and falls in love with her. Can he stick to his vow of celibacy? So basically, No Nut November, the film, is what I remember from this. I saw it a long time ago.
Conversations to be had about this film.
This film is so, like... just before I get into it, I remember seeing this and thinking, this is not PG-13 and it's a 15s, because I was like, oh yeah, there's a
I remember seeing it because I love 90s Josh Hartnett. I remember being younger and seeing it and thinking it was great. I rewatched it as a grown woman and it is problematic.
You and I have spoken about this off air in our own time and gone, this is not a film that should be watched.
No. Then why we're watching it in 2 weeks' time to
because
discuss there is
a conversation. I found it really interesting as a teenage girl. Yeah, well, thinking it was quite romantic and really enjoying it, and then watching it as an adult and being like, "Ooh!" And I'm not. Obviously, part of it is to do. What year did it come out? Have you got that? I don't know.
2002, same as XXX.
Yeah, so some of it is because it is dated, but oof. Yeah.
So. This is, 2002 film, 40 Days and 40 Nights. We'll watch that in 2 weeks' time. Yeah, probably age like milk comments are going to come in. And, so let's see how that goes.
I wish Josh Hartnett's hair had stayed like it was in the 90s, though.
Yeah, I wish my hair had stayed like it was in the 90s.
I still got my hair. Yay! Anyway, Penny, what's our fucking socials? Thank you.
Oh, well, I don't know about our XXX fucking socials, but our PG socials are Unusual Suspects Pod, which is Instagram or Facebook, and Unusual Podspect on Twitter. I'm at Penny_photopit.
At Dan Talks a Lot.
At Choices21.
We're back next week now. We're back. Regular scheduling now. We missed you all. Not really. Couldn't be arsed. And
we will miss you. It hasn't happened yet.
Oh, fuck off.
We've gone the whole episode without sausages and you fucked us at the last second.
Literally the last fucking minute until she goes, we're not out this week. It won't be out for...
Here's what else I was waiting for.
It's too easy.
I'm annoyed now at her.
It's too easy.
I was waiting to see how long it takes before she starts singing, and I thought we were going to get through the whole thing until about 5 minutes ago.
That's it. Yep. Anyway, before she does anything else, have a lovely, lovely day.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.